Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Snarky Atheists podcast. Finally, we're back from a bit of a break. Sorry to have been gone, but we got some good news. Chad, we got a new microphone.
That we did. Praise Jesus!
Praise Jesus that we got a new It's
no.
a sweet microphone though. It's a Blue Snowball, and it picks up sound omnidirectionally. So Chad can sit on one side of the room, I can sit on this side of the room, and it'll hear us both equally because it's this little snowball looking thing.
It's almost like we're butt fucking. Oh wait. Well. No, it's not like we're doing that, but
Chad's been drinking a little bit, so
nah.
Don't worry, but he wasn't serious about the butt fucking. Okay, anyways, we've got a. You know, we just talked about how this is gonna be the episode we start sending to all kinds of people, like, hey, check out our podcast. So let's just move on.
Let's just move on, everyone.
Okay, yeah.
I apologize, everyone.
Yeah. Anyways, this is the episode we're really wanting to push out to people because since we started doing this podcast, we started as a strictly atheist religion discussion sort of thing. And one night Chad comes into my room and says, hey, let's start a podcast tomorrow. And that's what we did. We started a podcast the next day.
The next morning,
Yeah.
we just woke up and said, well, we don't really know what we're doing, but let's record ourselves bashing other people.
Yeah. And we sort of like focus strictly on religion and atheism. And, you know,
that's not a bad idea in itself.
but that's like,
But what we realized is that doesn't appeal to everyone. Not saying that's a bad thing or we want to be mainstream or anything.
I think what you mean to say is that it's not like completely who we are.
Exactly. We are not just atheists and that's all we want to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
We have very different opinions. Whether his opinions may not be the same as mine, or we may vary completely different. We may hear a news story, he may take one side and I may take the other. You know, that's just how we are.
Yeah, and add to that, some days we might not even want to talk about religion at all.
That's true. I mean, even if we do talk about religion, all we're going to do is agree with each other, and that's no fun for anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not like we have viewer calls, someone in we can come in and debate or anything. I mean, we don't have anything like that. All we can do is sit here and agree with each other and, you know, jack each other's egos off and make each other feel better.
Pretty much all it's going to be is it's just going to be, and eventually it'll get to where we start ranting about or making fun of religion. And then eventually people are just gonna be like, "Oh, that's all they do." I mean, whether they like one of our episodes or not, they're gonna get in their heads like, "Oh, that's I know what's gonna happen pretty much every episode, so I don't really have to listen to every episode."
Yeah, that's true.
And that's not what we want.
And there's a limited number of pages in the Bible. There's a limited number of pages in the Quran, and those are basically the two main things that we'd be talking about. So after a while, we would be done.
We'd be burnt out of it too eventually if we do the same thing every time.
There would be nothing else to talk about. So
because you can only say, your opinion on, heaven, hell, morality, Jesus, different things like that. You can only talk about it so much before you're just like, all right, I just want to take a break from this.
Yeah, I mean, that is something that we are very, very, very passionate about, and we love it so much. But you can't oversaturate yourself in your own ideas and everything because, I mean, after a while, that's it.
Yeah, eventually you're going to lose your drive.
You have created your own pool, and now you have to swim in it. It's not a river which you can keep going down and changing paths and doing whatever.
Yeah, we want to go whitewater rafting on this podcast. We don't want to be stuck in a little kiddie pool.
We don't want to be stuck in Lake Tinkiller. For people outside of Oklahoma, that's the largest lake in Oklahoma. But anyway, We want to be on the Arkansas or Mississippi River.
Or the Amazon.
No. No.
Get fucking all kinds of insects.
Get all kinds of diseases and
yeah, let's
insects biting my no.
And fuck the Nile, that's in Africa. We don't want to go to Africa.
Hey, I'm in denial. Oh, that's a terrible
okay. Alright, but anyways, what we're basically saying is that we want to broaden the format of the show where we talk about all kinds of stuff. And
yeah, it's not just to be mainstream or anything. And actually, it still means everything. It's just as much as religion does to us. It still means exactly the same, and we still feel the same passion about today's events or anything that we want to talk about. We still have the same passion about it as we do religion, but we're not just going to focus on some sort of group just to keep our groups separate from everyone else.
But don't think for a second that we're throwing religion out the window, because we're
definitely not. We will bash.
Definitely not.
You know,
we'll bash, and not just bash, but if we see something good happening.
That's true. That's true. We will kind of be like, I don't want to throw names out, but I'm going to, because that's just kind of a guy I am. We're going to be kind of like the Colbert Report or the Daily Show with Jon Stewart. We won't just take one side of the story. We will take both sides, and we don't care if you're atheist or you're theist. We'll make fun of your ass if you say something completely fucking retarded.
Yeah.
We don't care. And me and Matthew may not agree on the same thing, so you'll have a nice debate between us every once in a while. So, I mean, we're kind of coming in as our own opinions rather than just a set beliefs that we're going to push on people.
Yeah, this podcast is changing, not a lot, but what we're changing it into is it's about us as people, not just us as atheists, and that's the main point we're trying to make here. So, to move on from that point that we just made, and the new format and all that little news, let's talk about a little bit of what's been going on for the past couple weeks for us. It's coming to the end of the semester, and I finished 3 finals. I had one last night. It was online, and I made 100 on it. The great thing about that class, I made 100 on every single test. And the great thing, the way I did it is like, it was online. It was open book.
Google.
No.
Google. That's how I got 100, guys.
It was online, open book, and it was timed. But she allowed 2 takes, like 2 tries. So.
No.
So for the stuff you missed, you could go back and look it up.
So you had a time limit for each question, not a time limit for the entire test?
It was an hour and a half for the entire test.
But, okay, was it multiple choice?
It was multiple choice.
Okay. How many choices? 4?
4 choices, sometimes 5. And it was 50 questions.
Okay, so you got 4 choices and 3 strikes. So if you were to fuck that question up, you were in the 25%. Right?
I'm not quite sure I'm following.
Okay. You have 3 choices to make because you got your first one and then you got 2 extras. So you got 3 out of 4. Okay, there's 4 questions.
Yes.
Okay, so you have 75% chance of answering that question correctly. Right? Because 3 out of 4. You have 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4, that's a 33% chance of getting it right. Because you have a 1 in 3 chance.
3 out of 4.
But if you missed it, then you're going to know. Okay, that's just like, I don't know where you're going with this. Okay, go on. Because, listen, if you miss a question, you know that that's not the right answer.
Okay, yeah. So that means
there's 3 more questions.
There's 3 more questions left. And
one of those 3 is the correct one. That you
okay, and then you have 2 left.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, here's the thing. You get 1 chance to take the test, and then you get your grade. And then,
okay.
And then it shows you what you got wrong.
All right.
Then you have 1 more chance.
Okay, I understand now. What I was thinking is you get 1 question per page or so.
No.
And you get 4 questions. Okay, well, now you get 3 chances. So you say, you pick A. A's wrong. So you go back, same question. Okay, now it's B, C, or D. Okay, well, you choose D. Okay, D's wrong. Okay, now it's C or D.
Yeah, but you don't get to do that.
You pick C. Okay, C's wrong. It was D. So that means you picked in the 25%. That's what my choice was. Because, I mean, no matter what, you get 3 chances at 4 answers.
No, that's not how it works.
Okay.
Like,
now
I had to
got you.
answer every single question, and then it would grade it, and then I got...
Now I got you.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's still difficult.
But I did make 100 on every single test. And I had 2 more finals this morning.
What class was this, though?
That was my fucking, what's it called, American federal government class.
Did it say Romney was king?
No, but it did.
True or false?
True or false? Romney is king.
True or false?
No.
Ronald Reagan was the greatest president of all time. True or
It did
false?
have a picture of Jon Stewart on the cover of on the front page of chapter 10. It was talking about media and
For all
politics.
you who don't know, I just danced a little tune for you
Yeah,
all.
he did a little jig there.
I did a jig. Because
But
Jon Stewart is my hero.
that whole chapter was about how media affects politics and government. It was pretty cool. But
wow! That has got to be the... You just blew my mind, Matthew. Jon Stewart, my hero, is going down in the history books. Think about that! A comedian is going down in the history books.
who better to go down in the history books than
Jon
comedian?
Stewart.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
but yeah,
Well, that is
I
true.
basically just demolished everything this semester. It was fucking crazy. And you were saying you're going?
Oh, yeah. I made some terrible decisions in my life. I have made some awful ones. And I have learned from them. And it has taken me several years to correct those problems. Boy, has it ever. Let's just say several years in debt. And it took me quite a while to work off the debt because I decided to make a decision that really wasn't mine. And my advice to anyone out there, if you're ever thinking about, well, should I make this decision? Think about, are you making this decision to better yourself, or are you making this decision to better someone else? And at this point in time, I was thinking, well, this decision is better for myself. In actuality, it was better for, quote unquote, myself and my partner, which ended up being a terrible tragedy. And I am very glad that I learned from it, because I think it's made me a stronger person, and it has given me more willpower or more fire in me to change the decision that I've made. Because after, wow, it was maybe 2 months after I made my decision to drop out of college that I realized it was the worst decision of my life.
Wow.
Literally. Let's see. I dropped out of college September 28th. 2 weeks after, you're in college. I mean, you come up September 15th, you go to college.
So you drop out 2 weeks later?
2 weeks later. This, the stupid part of me was, whenever you first go to college, the first week you get kind of a pass. Well, you can drop classes, you can do whatever, you can completely unenroll and not pay a fee. Okay.
Yeah.
First week of college, I was like, man, I like this. I want to do well in this. I'm going to smash this out. A week later, my fiance says, yeah, I don't know if I can wait for you to go another 3 years in college. I really want to start a family with you.
That's so selfish. I cannot believe that.
Yeah, but at this point in time, I had never felt this feeling about someone else in my life. And so I was like, she's right. Everything she says is right. Everything she says makes me happy. So this is right. So 2 weeks in after I started, dropped out.
That has to be like literally right after the withdrawal deadline.
Right after the withdrawal date. A week after withdrawal date. Alright, so I withdraw from 4 classes. That turned out to a tune of like $1,350.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So you had to.
So
over the past couple years, you've had to work, and then in order to
well-
go back, you had to pay that off before you could even go back to school, right?
Yeah. Well, the reason why she said this is because about 2 weeks before I had started going to college, we had moved up to the college town. Both of us together we had moved up to college town, and I was trying to talk her into going to college, and she was like, she had planned on it, but she didn't really know when she was going to. And so my plan was to go to college, come out as a teacher, support her while she went to college, and then she was going to go as a nurse like her mom and all that, jazz. So, I was fine with that. So we moved up in early January. Okay, we lived there. And about in May, June or so, I had worked at a grocery store. And I was a lowly stalker boy at the time, but I had worked there for 3.5 years. And the store manager at the time decided that he really liked my job performance, really liked it. Me and him were good friends, which is weird, a lowly guy, good friends with the boss. Wasn't an ass kisser. Anyone who thinks that, fuck you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you names, but seriously, I wasn't an ass kisser. I just worked my ass off. Did everything I could. Just that's just the kind of person I am. You do everything to your best. You don't want to settle for less. Well, I mean, why would you want to settle for less whenever you could push yourself to your max? So I worked really hard. I worked there for 4 years. He noticed that. So I got promoted from a lowly stalker boy to a dairy frozen manager. And so I was I wasn't really a big deal at my current job, but to some people, this was like 2010. So in 2010, the economy had already, went into depression.
Yeah. And
so good jobs are hard to come by. I was making $9.50 an hour. That was pretty good money at the time. I just got out of high school. Almost making $10 an hour, and most of my friends or anybody I knew was making minimum wage.
I was making nothing because I didn't have a job.
That's true.
I was completely unemployed.
So, so basically everyone I knew was either living off their parents or living in the dorms, living off financial aid, barely making anything, didn't have a job, and I was sitting there making, $25,000 a year. I thought I was doing well. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not doing too bad or anything like that. And right around in May, there had been some real controversy at my job, and it wasn't with me. It was with the assistant store manager. He decided that he didn't want to work there anymore, and he wanted to pursue other dreams. He was in online school, and he had just finished his degree in I don't quite remember what it was, but he was like a graphic designer basically for like internet websites, and he created his own website which did like coupons and all this stuff, and he was making quite a bit of money off that. So he decided that he was done working 60 hours a week as a co-manager basically at this grocery store. And so my boss had told me, like, hey, I mean, this is back in May, saying, hey, we got this manager position opening up. I think you should apply for it. I think you'd be really good there. I was like, I don't know about that. I'm thinking about going transferring up to college. And he's like, oh, I understand. But, go ahead and put your application in, do all the tests and all that. And I was like, all right, fine. So I put in all my applications and everything, put in all my tests. And about a couple weeks later, someone else got hired into that position. So I was like, everything's fine. I'll keep working there. And so we moved up here, which is about 40 miles away. And which was really the worst timing that I could possibly imagine for this time to happen. The new person had been there for 3 months at the time, or 2.5 months at the time. And got in a huge fuss with the store manager, walked out and quit.
Oh my God.
Walked out and quit a week. The same, Basically, she walked out and quit. I came home to work and told my fiance at that time, she walked out and quit and said, hey, I want you to drop out of school. I want you to take that job. So that's what I did. Dropped out of school, took that job.
And you've since been out of school, and now you're finally going back.
I've been out of school since...
What's the main lesson that you think you've learned from this whole experience? Because you were engaged, you were in love, you dropped out of school to take this job, and then unfortunately things happened since then, and you're no longer with this person.
That's true.
But you feel like you're much happier now that you're
Oh my God. I wish I could go back in time and quite literally slap the fucking shit out of myself and say, what are you doing? What are you doing? And my past self would look at my future self, I'm saying, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for me. It makes me happy. It makes me happy. In all, it didn't make me happy. All it did was fulfill this quote-unquote void that I had, which I thought would make me happy, which was this girl at this time, which didn't make me happy. I thought it did because that was my first love, and then I did not realize how the world worked. I mean, I was a 19-year-old kid believing that I was more mature than everybody, believing that I knew how the world worked. I was such a fool.
So what's the main lesson you learned? That you don't know everything? That maybe... what's the main lesson you think you took from this whole experience?
That I'm not as smart as I think I am.
Yeah, that's a good lesson for everybody.
I mean, really.
I think it's good, like, no matter who you are, you don't know everything, you're not as smart as you think you are.
You're not nearly as smart as you think you are. You think you make the right decisions all the time. You think you're never wrong. You make so many mistakes in your life until someone points that out and says, hey, you messed that up, or that's not right, or what are you doing? And then, you're kind of like, no, you kind of brush all that stuff off, but really the point where it becomes to where you're looking yourself in the mirror and yourself is looking at yourself saying, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You are so wrong. You think you know what you're doing, but you are wrong. And that is to the point where it hits you and you're like, whoa, maybe I'm not who I think I am. Maybe I need to take a step back and start to look at everything around me before I start thinking, oh, I'm a pompous asshole, I know everything, whenever you don't really know as much as you nearly give yourself credit for.
I think that's a good lesson for everybody to learn. Just chill the fuck out, guys. You
Really?
don't know it all.
Really? I mean, I don't like to... I love to rant. I'm not going to kid anyone here. I love to rant.
I do have some good/bad news, though. I got something in the mail earlier this morning when I came back from my final. It was from Amazon. I'm like, what the fuck am I getting mail from Amazon for? Apparently, since April, so for the past, like, fucking 7 or 8 months, I've had Amazon Prime. I fucking had unlimited HD.
I just signed up for Amazon Prime for free.
I've had it for 8 months and I did not fucking know. I mean, I'm just gonna keep talking, but seriously, like, I've had Amazon Prime is this fucking amazing program, unlimited HD streaming, and I've had it this whole fucking time, and yeah.
Okay, you do realize that Amazon Prime is basically Hulu Plus and Netflix combined, which we're not giving out any advertisements. I'm just giving my own opinion on it. Which is basically Hulu Plus and Amazon, not Amazon Prime.
It's a little bit more expensive though.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's like Hulu Plus and Netflix combined, but it's. I would much rather have Netflix and Hulu. I would much rather pay. What is Netflix? Is it $9.99 now?
Yeah, something like that. Hulu's like $8 a month.
So you say Hulu's what, $96 a month, and Netflix is $120 or not? Yeah,
a year.
So Netflix is what, $120 a month, And so you're basically paying $200 a month for Netflix and Hulu, and you pay $80 a month for Amazon Prime. But I would much rather pay the $200 to have both of those.
Yeah. But like, it's just like
Amazon Prime does have some good shit.
It does have some good shit on it, and I was just thinking, like, I saw that letter, I'm like, what the hell? I've had this $80, product for 8 months that I didn't even know. So I mean,
when did you find this out? How many days ago?
Literally this morning.
So me and you were watching Amazon Prime a couple days ago of Alcoholics.
Yeah.
Season 3, we watched like 10 episodes together, and you didn't
I
realize that
didn't
you
even
had
know
this
that
for free.
I already had it. I didn't even
because
know.
I signed up for a free trial.
Seriously, I had no fucking idea.
You know why I signed up for the free trial? They had I got conned into it because I seriously
These
did.
motherfuckers conned me into this shit.
Well,
fucking triangle schemes.
Long way short, I conned them in to con me. I thought. This is the one point I thought, I'm smarter than the company because they decided to give me a free trial. And, you can quit after 30 days, which I'm going to quit after 30 days. But they conned me in by saying, you can get How I Met Your Mother Season 9 every episode in HD. And I've been wanting to see every episode because I've only seen like 4 of them. And so I get on there. No, you got to buy those. Those aren't on Amazon Prime.
Oh, wow. Motherfuckers.
So, you know what? I am disconnecting my account on day 30. Motherfuckers.
Alright, well that's all the new shit that's been going on with us. Let's talk about news now.
Not new shit.
Not new shit. News shit.
But I do like that segment. We can have a news segment and a new shit segment. I kind of like that.
Alright,
Whether or not you guys care about our lives or not, we care about our lives.
And that's all that matters to me.
Us.
Okay, so...
Us, yes.
Chad's like my imaginary friend that only I can see.
Yeah, you guys can't really hear me. This is really a podcast of him talking to himself.
So for that whole story you just told, it was just me sitting in silence for like 6 minutes.
That would be pretty damn creepy.
Corey and I joke about that all the time. Like, I'm his imaginary friend, and like this whole time I haven't existed at all. And that bedroom is just a room with just a bed in it and nobody in there.
Well, then why am I sleeping on the couch?
Like, Corey, why don't you let me have that room?
Why would you? Does he feel bad for me or something? Like, he really thinks he's got a good friend in there.
Alright, so I'm going to read this short little story. It's like only a few sentences long, so it won't take too long. But just get a hold of this. At the Golden Eagle Mall in China, over the weekend, a 38-year-old man, Tao Hisayo, leaped to his death after an argument with his girlfriend who insisted they continue shopping, according to sources. So they were shopping. This is one of those huge mega malls. It's like 5 stories up. They were standing and they've been shopping.
Like the Mall of America times 10.
Yeah, they were shopping for like 5 hours. An eyewitness said the man... An eyewitness said, listen. An eyewitness said the man could be heard telling his girlfriend that they had already had more bags than they could carry, but she insisted on hitting one more store where there was a sale on shoes. Apparently, the eyewitness said, and this is a quote from an eyewitness, he told her she already had enough shoes, more shoes than she could wear in a lifetime, and it was pointless buying any more. She started shouting at him, accusing him of being a skinflint. I don't know what the fucking skinflint is, and of spoiling Christmas. It was a really heated argument.
Wait, where was this at?
It was China.
Why are Chinese people celebrating Christmas?
Because it's become a commercial holiday.
That's true. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
They celebrate it the same reasons that atheists celebrate it, and we'll talk about that another day, not in this podcast. This time of the year can be extremely stressful for a lot of people, but this is absolutely tragic. What are your thoughts? Have you ever been so furious with somebody that you just had to fucking throw yourself off a 5-story balcony and kill yourself?
Yes! But I've never had the balls to do it.
I'm saying you've thought about it, like, God,
yes!
I just want this to end.
Yes! Yes, I have. If I was up 5 stories and she was complaining about how she needs more shoes and she's got more shoes than Paris Hilton, and I was 5 stories up, in my mind I would be thinking, and then just swan diving.
like,
just swan diving. It's over, baby.
Some people, though, most people, I imagine, if they get that mad, they're just going to kill the person that they're with. This dude just took himself out, like, fuck this, I'm fucking done. I fucking quit. He just completely just rage quit life. And yeah, it's a tragic story, but really, he kills himself for that? Like,
well, I mean, I commend the man because he's not a psychopath. You think about it, you think, oh, a man kills himself over his girlfriend wanting to shop. Okay, he's a psychopath. You know? No. If he was a psychopath, he would have fucking murdered her. If he was legitimately a psychopath, he would not have wanted to die himself. He would have just stabbed her in the throat or shot her in the face and ran off. Or just stood there.
Thrown her off the balcony.
Or thrown her off the balcony. But he was already, like, you know what? I'm done. Because I assume they were obviously rich because they had more bags than they could carry. Which he said.
It makes me wonder what was going, like, what sort of mental problems this guy had to where he was so upset that he actually,
that's
in
probably
the middle
true.
of a crowded mall, he was so furious that he kills himself.
I have a feeling, I don't know this by fact or any, actual study of this, but I'm just assuming. And you know what they say about assuming, an ass makes an ass out of you and me. But I'm going to go ahead and throw my opinion out there. I think that China has too big of a population to worry about its own health care. And I think this guy may have been mentally unstable, maybe not psychotic, but very depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And really didn't give a shit whether he lived or not. And he was probably already having a bad day. Say, he's a Broncos fan, even though he's Chinese, and the Broncos lost. That was a big blow to his confidence. And then he found out his girlfriend was cheating on him. Okay?
Plus, they've been there for 5 hours.
And then he's just fucking going on and on.
They're spending all their money.
He's just watching his life's fortune just being thrown out in front of him. He's probably got 8 wives paying child support out his ass, working 3 jobs just to support everybody. And you're just like, you know what? I'm done. Fuck this. And, just swan dives off the balcony.
That's so fucking crazy.
And, that could be true. I could be way off fucking base. I don't know. I don't know the guy. I never would even talk to the guy. But that's a good thing to raise up. Maybe they don't have good healthcare. We have fucking shitty healthcare. And we're trying to import good healthcare, and everyone's fucking bitching. Oh, we don't have enough money. You know what? Why don't we legalize marijuana and get everybody out of prison who were fucking...
that's a drug.
No!
You heathen.
I'm gonna rub my sack on your face if you say that again. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's an illegal substance, and it causes madness, and it's a gateway drug to crack and murder.
Oh, not like alcohol, the man-made substance. But do you really... We're off topic. But do you know why marijuana was actually illegalized? I don't know how to actually say that, but illegalized out of America. Do you know why?
I don't know the story.
The actual story is because a really good product out of marijuana is hemp.
Yeah. And
it's stronger than paper. It grows faster than trees. You can make more of it. And it's quicker, easier, better than paper. Everything. You can make stronger rope, everything out of it. It's just all around far superior than paper, basically. But at this time, it was early 1900s, late 1800s. At this time, that's when, the big paper boom was coming. And, all the printing presses were coming out. And they feared that they were going to get overrun by this hemp. And so the hemp was kind of like the poor man at the time, not knowing its potential. And so the paper companies had all the power, they had all the money, they lobbied. Yeah. Okay. They lobbied in the federal government and got it outlawed because of this marijuana.
Because it's dangerous.
Because it's dangerous. Even though at that time it was being used as medicinal purposes, just like cocaine was. medical cocaine. Who says that?
I'm gonna prescribe you some cocaine.
You're having
snort 2 grams every week.
You've been sleeping 14 hours a day. How about some cocaine?
Doctor, I'm feeling so exhausted. I gotta get up. I gotta work. I gotta provide for my family. Here, take this cocaine.
Yeah. So all these printing presses and all these things, because I assume that the hemp was too thick to work in the printing presses. So all those millions of dollars or hundreds of, I don't know how much money was back then, but all of
those tens of dollars.
All those tens of dollars would have been wasted on these printing presses. And so they lobbied to get it outlawed because of the hemp. Even though hemp is way more logical to use than cutting down.
Well, we're in
rainforests.
America, Chad. This isn't exactly the land of logic, so.
Yeah, let's go attack people for their oil.
Okay.
Oh, off subject.
We do need to start moving on, though, because we're 35 minutes in.
God
so
damn!
It's probably going to be a bit of a longer episode, but I don't care.
Hey, so, we've been gone a long time, people. We've wanted to rant. I've wanted to rant. I've been ranting in my car for hours. Like, I would come home from work and just sit in my car and just rant to myself because I'm insane.
I'm mad.
I'm mad. And if I don't have you guys, I may murder somebody. No. I wouldn't murder anybody. I would jump out of a 5-story building to my death.
You'd, jump out the window right
I seriously would. I would kill myself before I'd kill anyone else. Unless I got drafted into the military. Then I guess I could kill someone else before I kill myself.
Yeah, you could.
But I don't, want to go out and kill somebody. But if I was forced to... Okay, if I was offered the choice, would you kill someone or kill yourself? I'd kill myself. Because I feel like someone else's life is more valuable than mine. Because I'm a low self-esteem piece of shit. But if I was forced saying, hey, you kill yourself or you kill them. Like, oh, I don't have a choice. I'm going to kill them. So.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. Why are you going to go all, satirical on yourself and just, shoot yourself in the face, man? Maybe you guys know or maybe you guys don't know, but me and Matthew here are a giant fan of Adam Carolla.
He's probably my favorite person on the planet.
Other than myself.
Other than my own, because I'm an arrogant atheist.
Because I'm an arrogant asshole.
And I believe in myself.
But no, one of his,
I can't believe when we were saying, in, one of the earlier episodes of our podcast, we were talking about our favorite atheist. How did we not say Adam Carolla?
Well, he is one of my favorite atheists. But he's a different atheist than other atheists. He's not atheist for the same reason we're atheists.
I think he's atheist for the same reason, but he doesn't talk about it like we do.
I love Adam Carolla to death. He's one of my most favorite people on the earth. But he's one of the most, the biggest atheists that I have problems with the things that he says. He says that more atheists that he knows, but he said that he knows. But he said he thinks that more atheists believe in supernatural, ghosts and shit. Or, walking under a ladder or opening an umbrella inside. Superstitions. He thinks that atheists believe in more superstitions than religious people do. Which, to me, I don't believe in any fucking superstitions. I think that shit's fucking retarded. And if there's a ladder in my way at work, I'm not going to walk around the motherfucker if I don't have any way to walk. I'm going to fucking walk under it. If I think an umbrella's broken at work, I'm going to fucking open up the motherfucker inside. I don't fucking care.
How do those things even get spread?
I don't know. It's like STDs. No one knows how they really got spread, but everyone believes in them.
Now they're just all over the place.
But now, yeah, they're all over the place. I don't understand. He's a very prominent atheist, but he says a lot of things that I disagree with.
I'm not even sure how that would even make sense. How are atheists more superstitious than religious people when...
Well, he did make some good examples. Kind of like, in baseball, all the faggots wear the same socks because they're lucky socks, and, because, people are fucking douchebags. But, and Allison Rosen was saying something like, I don't really believe in superstition, but, if, like, my mom opens up, like, an umbrella inside, I'm like, oh, what the fuck are you doing, there are, I guess the people he surrounds himself with are non-religious, but they're superstitious. That's what I have a feeling, but, like...
Yeah, because he's not really in the same crowd as, like, Sam Harrison.
Exactly! Like I said, I that's why I said I don't think he's religious for the same reasons we are religious. Because the reason we are non-religious, the reasons we are non-religious is because we studied.
It's because we don't believe in superstition. And
exactly.
Because of all the stuff we've studied.
We studied religion. He did not. He just grew up in a household
he just sort of never got into it to begin with.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And that's why he's kind of to the point where, if kids want to pray in school, why raise a fuss? That's kind of how he is. He's just like, if it doesn't faze me, I don't give a fuck.
I think another thing about that is because he's just so damn busy, he doesn't have time to give a fuck.
Exactly. He doesn't have a time to, get all up in the why bother?
Yeah.
That's his really reason. Is it going to bother me or is it going to bother my kids? Well, no. Why?
Because I'm literally a millionaire.
I'm a millionaire. My kids are happy, they'll be fine. That doesn't bother me. I accept that. Does that bother him? Will him advocating anything against, separation church and state, will that do anything? No. Probably not. Him saying one thing about separation of church and state, do you really think that's going to make a difference? Not really. It may make a difference.
I think
it may make a difference in young people or people who listen to him.
Yeah.
But it's not going to make a difference on the people above him who's in actual power. So that's probably the way he looks at it, because he's got low self-esteem. He doesn't think his opinion really matters. He likes to rant.
Even though he's like the most downloaded podcast in history.
Yeah, but he's...
He doesn't realize, though, that he's actually changing the opinions of so many people.
Exactly, he doesn't, because he's so... he even talks about that, how he is so insecure and everything like that. He doesn't feel like he's really that big of a deal, even though he's that big of a fucking deal. He's not like, he's not a Bruce Willis. Everyone knows Bruce Willis. Not everyone knows Adam Carolla. But the people who know Adam Carolla are more influenced by what he says or does than what someone like Tom Cruise. He's an astronomical superstar. But believes in Scientology.
No one's going to really listen
but
to his opinion.
If Tom Cruise tries to promote Scientology, 10% of the people may listen. But if Adam Carolla says anything about atheism, 90% of his followers will actually take in account what he actually says. He may not be as big as a superstar, but what he says actually counts to the people he's talking to.
Yeah. His voice has more power. Mm-hmm. Amongst his listeners and the people.
Even if it may be actually less people, it may be more percentage, but it actually may be less people. 90%.
It might be more if Adam Carolla gets 90% of his listeners to really focus and listen to what he has to say. And
it may be more than 10% of Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
We don't really know because we don't know how many people listen to Tom Cruise. That crazy motherfucker jumping on couches and shit.
I don't know that anybody listens to Tom Cruise, to be honest. You know what? We might have to just do another episode after this.
Fuck it, I'll do another episode.
We're 43 minutes in, and I said at around 45 minutes we needed...
That he was going to come in my butthole. Oh, no.
That's not what I said. I said I was going to put up the Vulcan sign and check out that...
That Jupiter incident.
Let's talk about Jupiter.
Let's talk about Jupiter.
Because, I still have we still have Nelson Mandela and Obama to talk about. We have the Westboro Baptist Church to talk about.
We have several hours worth of shit.
Walmart banning that dude. We have Pirate Bay and all the internet shit. And all
See, guys, this is what's happened when we go away for 2 weeks. We can't stop talking.
We were literally, for like an hour straight before we started recording, just talking about all kinds of different shit that we wanted to talk about.
Actually, Matthew had to tell me to shut up because I was ranting too much.
I actually
this is too good. Just stop.
I said, stop ranting. You got to save it for the podcast because you were talking about the Pirate Bay incidents and stuff like that.
And that really hits home to me. That fucking shit hit home. Oh, okay.
Because Chad wants to be a pirate. I mean...
Well, kind of.
That was a joke, but yeah. But
I don't want to be a butt pirate, and I don't want to be a Somalia pirate.
He wants to be like a Assassin's Creed 4 pirate.
Yes! Yes! That's what I want to be.
Okay, so let's talk about space.
Space! It's a giant black man. Well, giant black, but, void of things. But yes.
Wonders and possibilities.
As many as possibilities and things I can think about space doesn't even compare to the actualities of the possibilities and things in space. Like, I can only probably think of 1% of things that can go on in space. 1%! I could...
This is a really cool story, though, guys. Check this out. All right.
There was a huge crash on Jupiter's Europa, and for people who don't know,
Jupiter has a bunch of moons.
It has a shitload of moons. Do you know how many moons are on that surround Jupiter? It's like 6 or 7, something like that.
It's got a few moons. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely not like the Earth, who has one moon and that rotates around. This has several different moons, and some of them are even almost considered as dwarf planets, which is Europa, which is it's smaller than our moon, but it's bigger than Pluto. So anyway, what happened was a huge crash on Jupiter's Europa may have delivered life's building blocks, is the name of this news story. A new look at data from NASA's spacecraft has revealed evidence of a colossal impact on Jupiter's moon, Europa, a collision that may have delivered key minerals and perhaps even the raw ingredients for life, scientists say. The cosmic crash scene, which NASA billed as, quote-unquote, spectacular collision with an asteroid or comet, quote-unquote, is the first time that clay-like materials have ever been detected on Europa. This discovery is based on a new analysis of images from NASA's Galileo mission to Jupiter and is intriguing to scientists because comets and asteroids are often carriers of organic compounds which can serve as ingredients for primitive life. So, basically what had happened was, I don't remember how long ago, it was like, this was in the 90s, I think, that NASA sent out this satellite or a little probe that is supposed to go, it's going past Jupiter. I think it's going around Pluto, and it's coming back, all the way back, and it's supposed to take like 35 years.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Goddamn, dude.
They sent this out in like the 80s and expected it to come around like 2020. It's going to come back around. Taking pictures of the fucking...
That's fucking phenomenal.
Is it not?
Okay, but let's focus on this whole life thing. People don't really understand, like, life doesn't start, like...
At conception. Whoa!
Listen. It doesn't start like a flash and then there's human beings. That's not how shit started. Shit starts from like these tiny little single-celled organisms. I don't know what you were saying.
Good.
These tiny little single-celled organisms that can survive in these crazy environments. Like there are actually things that can survive in space where there's no air. There's organisms that can go in.
There's organisms
that can hibernate for hundreds of years and then just kick back online and be alive again. Basically,
there's
all kinds
organisms
of shit like
that can survive in like atmospheres that we couldn't even survive.
Totally decimate us.
Straight up, like sulfur. There are organisms that can survive on Venus. There could be life on Venus. That's like me from you, like several feet away from the sun, compared to the Earth and Mars away from the sun. Just feet, just away from billions of Fahrenheit degrees of heat, and there's organisms that are able to live in that.
Yeah, people think like life is a sort of they think in too small of a box. They think like
intelligent life.
They think life has to have water. It has to have a certain amount of oxygen in the air. It has to have a certain amount of carbon dioxide. It has to have a certain temperature. But they don't take into account.
All it takes is one like little bacteria.
They don't realize that there are these different organisms that can live with no oxygen. There are different organisms that can live in extreme heat or extreme cold
or extreme pressure.
Yeah,
such
pressure,
as like deep under the oceans.
Deep sea creatures. Like, like if humans were to go down there, our lungs would fucking just
we would die.
Like, we wouldn't stand a chance. But there are fish down there. They're just like, hey, what's up, dude? Why you look so pale? Like, what's wrong with your face? You look like you're about to throw up. Like, it's just all kinds of shit. They're happy as can be down there. They're totally fine. Not at all.
No. They don't give a shit about our life and our words. They don't care. They're just doing their own thing. They're just surviving on their own. Hell, there's like organisms that live on rocks and all. It's just insane. It's just we have such a skewed view.
Life as we know it today has become this way because it took so long to get there.
You know,
people don't talk about evolution.
Yeah,
seriously, evolution's a fact. All right, you're just gonna have to accept that eventually. Once you learn more.
Even if you disprove evolution, it still doesn't prove creationism, which people don't fucking understand.
But let's just take for a second, like, I think. I kind of understand this one point that people make about evolution because, like, even though you can show them all this evidence for it, they'll say, how can we know it just takes so long? But think of it this way. Things do change over time. That's just how it is. We see it happening. Think about language.
No one speaks Latin anymore.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. Nobody speaks Latin anymore, but they speak Spanish. There's people who speak... what's another Latin language? What was it? Is there ever a Latin person that gave birth to a Spanish-speaking baby?
Jesus. Oh, wait, no.
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 Like, things don't change instantly.
No.
What happens is there is a Latin mother who gave birth to a Latin child, and maybe that child moved away, and this group moved away, and over time, after separation, their language started changing.
Okay. Different sects of Native American tribes. Why are there Cherokee? Why are there Seminole? Why are there Chickasha? Why are there Chickasaw? Why are there so many different sects if they're all Native Americans? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, why do they have all different languages?
Why do they have different languages? I can't speak Cherokee. I can't speak Seminole. I speak English. But why does that mean that we're not genetically different either? Or either? Why is that such a hard thing to grasp?
I don't know. I think, like, I sort of get it, but I don't, because, like, when you really think about it, I think language is a perfect example of evolution, because once things, because over a long period of time, languages evolve and become something completely different, like Spanish from Latin, or like how Native American tribes moved away from each other, and then their languages became different.
American English from British English.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I don't like saying this, but I love saying this. It's a very, I think, I don't know if it's racist or not, but, I mean, you can judge me or not, or you can correct me or not, but I have been told that the Mexican Spanish is the same thing, so that the Mexicans did to the Spanish language what the Americans did to the English language, which is we took it and made it for our own. Because if you go to Mexico and the Spanish they speak is not the Spanish that you will hear in Spain.
Yeah.
And if you go to, from America, if you go to Great Britain or England, it is not the same English that you hear in the United States.
Yeah, and it's not like it's completely different, but there's going to be a lot of stuff where you're like, what the fuck did you just say?
I mean, yeah, we watch the BBC on my TV sometimes, and we have to put on the subtitles because we can't understand them. It's like, and they're speaking the same freaking language.
Because we're like, wait, what word did you just say? What was that word? What does that mean? What the hell's going on here?
Aluminium? Oh, I didn't know that was the correct way to say aluminum.
Yeah, we love Top Gear.
Jaguar? Oh, I didn't know that Jaguar was so wrong. Whenever you look at the word, it says Jaguar in the word, and then we take it and say Jaguar, Jagwire. It's not spelled like that. And then you realize, wow, what the hell did we think we were doing?
And it's like, it's even that way within, within the United States itself.
Exactly. You go up to Minnesota. Okay, you listen to someone from Minnesota. And you go someone from Louisiana. Like, you don't even think they're from the same country. I mean, you think, oh, I'm going to go pick me up a Dodge pickup truck. You're like, oh, I'm going to go pick me up a Chevrolet Lacetti. Like, what? Are you guys are you from, like, Ireland? Or, like, where are you from? It's the same country. It's just the evolution of language is prevalent within this country. And we just ignore it. We ignore it like it doesn't happen. All we do is just make fun of the different sects of language whenever we don't realize that that's evolution in progress. Like, oh my god. It's evolution in progress. It's evolution before our eyes. And we're just like, no.
But that's not a monkey giving birth to a human.
Like, that's not, yeah. Okay, you think of a person from Texas, and you hear a person from Boston, and a person from Texas. I mean, come on. You can't tell me that someone who has lived in America all their life and say they lived here for 20 years, so they're 20 years old, or they were born in America, they lived here for 20 years, so they're 20 years old, 20-year-old American, can't tell the difference from someone who is from the Northeast and someone who is from the Deep South. I mean, there probably are little occasions where someone doesn't take the Southern twang or whatever it's called in the northern way of speaking, because there are people who do voiceovers and things like that, like Dawson from the Adam Carolla Show. He has like the perfect fucking voice. I love that guy, his voice. I don't know how he does it. Dude, I can't even do his dude. Him and Diamond Dallas Page had a dude off.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you gotta look that up.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking that up later.
For our viewers, you will love it. It's Mike Dawson and Diamond Dallas Page dude off, where they just keep saying, dude. But they're both, deep voices. It's fucking perfect. So yeah, I recommend that very. But yeah, back to the Jupiter crash. It's just crazy that there could be life on Jupiter, on Jupiter's moons, which have actually been speculated to already have been able to suscitate human life. It's been a topic of terraforming, and to all you people who don't know who or what terraforming is, it is basically transforming another planet or moon or anything like that into a Earth-like planet or moon, basically changing into another Earth-like planet. And you do it by incorporating certain elements that are already within the planet itself and bringing out whatever qualities that we have on Earth, like any like CO2 or nitrogen or oxygen or any of the water that's frozen in there. All we raise the temperature of the planet or the moon to bring out the oxygen and all these gases and everything to make an environment or an atmosphere, and then all of a sudden it kind of just like snowballs. the way the scientists are thinking it would be, and just kind of snowballs into another planet. But this is a very viable option, and I think it's quite a good coincidence that an asteroid just recently smacked into the motherfucker that could contain organic compounds which can sustain primitive life. I just think that's pretty damn cool. Because that's one of the things we've been kind of waiting for. One of the actual premises for terraforming a planet is a comet smacking into the motherfucker. That just happened to Europa.
Now all we gotta do is figure out a way to get our terraforming equipment and whatnot to there.
All we gotta basically do, nature did it for ourselves. All we gotta do is figure out how to contain it and control it. If we can contain it and control it, we have another Earth. It may be 1/8 the size of Earth. It may be the size of Africa. But we may have another Earth. Really, we may have another Earth in the next 200 years. I mean, hell, we went from what, 1900, barely having electric, to 100 years later, to having a device that can fit in your hand, that can talk to anyone else in this fucking world. In 100 years? Are you kidding me?
Then 100 years after that, we're going to be on another planet.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think, unfortunately, I think there's also a good chance that we're all going to be fucking dead before that happens. Unless people can get their shit together, start working together.
Instead of fighting over... Basically, I figured this out. You can agree with me, or you can tell me to fuck off, whether it's whatever.
You can agree with me, or you can shut up.
Basically. You know, that's what Adam Carolla says. You can agree with me, or you can fuck off. But countries are like gangs. Say, America are the Bloods, and North Korea are the Crips. And say, the Philippines are in trouble and someone needs help, and the Crips go over there to help them. Well, the Bloods say, "Oh, no, we're coming over there. This is our turf." And then North Korea starts invading the U.S. "Oh no, this is our turf. This is our land. This is our turf." So we retaliate. Gangland violence. Fighting over turf. That's all wars have been. Fighting over turf. We could all learn a lesson from the movie The Warriors.
Yeah.
Why are we fighting over turf? Why are we fighting over land? Why are we fighting over fucking land? Why? Whenever we can just combine and help.
And then just, have,
yeah,
a bunch of planets for all of us. I mean,
yeah, okay. The United Nations, that's kind of what they were trying to do. I understand that. They don't give the United Nations enough power, okay? I'm not saying the entire world needs to be ruled by the U.S. because we are far from fucking perfect. We are goddamn far from perfect. But not every tribe in the Indian tribe needs to be controlled by the Cherokees. All they need is a representative from each tribe to voice their concerns. And then have a democratic vote amongst every country in the world. And then have a democratic process. Even, I guess, that's probably why, because some people don't agree with the democratic process, which doesn't make any logical fucking sense to me. I guess until we rid communism of the world, there will actually never be any common peace around the world, because the communists will not agree to democratic process.
Hey, I'd be cool with having a dictator as long as the dude knows exactly what he's fucking doing and he's not a total dick.
That's true. But
If it's a person who knows how to fix the world and can do it, fucking give me a world dictator. I don't give a shit what kind of government there is.
well, I've always wanted a dictator named Richard who always walked around with a potato on his wiener.
You're gonna have to elaborate. What the hell?
Richard is named for Dick. Dictator is the name for potato in the South.
I got you now.
Dictator. Come on, goddamn, that's fucking gold. Dictator. We'll edit that out if we have to.
Nope, that's staying in. Good old dictator Rick the
Dictator. Rick. Okay, if there's a guy named Richard who runs everything and walks around with a potato on his penis, he's a dictator.
He's dictator the dictator.
He's dictator.
Okay, that's too much. I can't.
I think we're going to end it on that.
Yeah,
right?
we're ending up. That's the name of the episode, Dictator.
That's true.
And I'm gonna spell it Dicktator or ER. Is it ER? Yeah, it's ER. Tater.
Yeah, Dictator.
Yep, that's the name of the episode, Dictator.
All right, everyone. We love you. Have a wonderful evening.
Goodbye.